Welcome to Lions Live 365, and this is a game recap for the Detroit Lions versus the Washington Commanders. We did what we were supposed to do. We went out there, we scored, put up as many points as we wanted against a team that is struggling, that is without its quarterback, that is without a corner. We handled our business. One of the things that I loved about this game is the fact that Dan Campbell took over play calling. He handled his business. I love the personnel groupings and things like that. I'll talk about that later. But let's look at the stats. We're gonna start with the defense. The defense, the defense basically played it really safe. They essentially just said, "Look, we're gonna put as many big bodies out there as humanly possible to stop the run. If they're going to beat us, Marcus Mariota and those very, very bad receivers outside of Debo Samuel are going to have to beat us." I'm giving them a B plus. They allowed 22 points, but it just seemed like the game was never in doubt and that they were kind of mailing it in. Hopefully, we get to see a more aggressive, a much more pressure situation with the defense. We just didn't have any juice on defense. It's just like it didn't matter. We knew for a fact, like, look, we got a couple of stops. This offense is scoring every drive. We gonna be all right. Make sure that Marcus Mariota stays in the pocket. Make sure that we stop the run, and we are definitely gonna win this game. We only allowed 288 total yards on 9 drives. We got 2 sacks, both by Brian Branch. We didn't cause any turnovers. It's hard for me to say anything negative about a team when they only scored 22 points and the game really was never close at any point. It seemed like as soon as they got down 2 scores and then it was just whatever. Once it got to 21-3, oh no, 22-3. It really didn't matter what was going on. Like we basically won the game in the first half. But I will give defensive MVP out. Defensive MVP is gonna be Brian Branch. He had 7 tackles, 1.5 sacks that he shared with Roy Lopez, and 1 tackle for loss. He was kind of a little bit of everywhere. He was making his presence known. Some of the people that were kind of like runners up for this were Jack Campbell, who had 9 tackles, handled his business, had a really good goal line stop. I think it was on a 2-point conversion. Terrion Arnold, if he could have played the whole game, and at the end of the day, Terrion has been playing very well since that no closed on Sundays came out. I think talking to Patrick Surtain every week has definitely helped his game. And then let's take a look at this here. Moving forward, like at the end of the day, it's so cut and dry on defense, right? It's just like we didn't allow them to get a bunch of big plays. We made them work their way down the field, and we handled our business. Now the offense is the exciting part. On offense, we scored 44 points. I don't think an A is possible on offense, mainly because we play in the Commanders. Sorry. A is like A. I was so impressed. I wasn't impressed. We did what we were supposed to do against Washington Commanders with everybody hurt, people getting ejected. They, like, at the end of the day, man, when they got all these people out and they're not playing well already, the last thing they need is for people to go out here and start getting ejected. So at the end of the day, if you're looking at that B plus and it's like, are you serious, Mike? Yes, I'm serious. I'll respect 28 points against a good defense compared to playing the Commanders in their current situation. They're like a deflated team. I'm not giving you no A's for beating. We could have scored 100, it'd have been a B plus, right? So points 44, total offense 546 yards. We was running the ball, we was passing the ball, we was doing whatever we wanted. Rushing today, for the most part, it was mostly Gibbs, but Montgomery was out there in the mix. And as far as passing is concerned, Jared Goff might have thrown like 8 incompletions all game. It was easy money. Everything about this game just kind of like fell into our laps for the most part. It was the perfect get right game. And moving on, the offensive MVP is Dan Campbell with the frames. Dan Campbell out there with the frames, man. He out there with the frames, out there looking like me with the glasses and all that. And what is he doing? He's making sure he sees every single play. He said, look, we're going to open up the playbook. What we're going to do is we are going to make sure that we bring back that end around fake motion, that jet sweep motion. We're going to make sure that teams have to respect us horizontally and vertically. We are going to threaten whether we do it or not. And what we're also going to do is when we threaten those horizontal plays, we're still going to run the ball. We're going to actually run the ball in 11 personnel. We're going to bring 3 wide receivers out because our receivers block. We're going to see if you match that, and we're going to run the ball. We're going to have David Montgomery in for the longer developing pass plays because he's a better pass protector. We're going to have more options shorter on the field so that our quarterback has an option if the deep passes are covered. These are things that have not been getting done. So that third down problem we had has been mostly fixed, right? I think we might have punted once, if at all day. We kicked a couple of field goals, and it was just a bunch of touchdowns. You scored 44 points. That means you were good on third down. That means you were good on fourth down. That means you gave your quarterback options to throw the ball to open receivers. It was just perfection. We only had like 8 incompletions all day. So we handled our business, and we gave our playmakers a chance. J-Mo getting the ball outside of a bomb is perfect. The fact that we threatened the defense with a Amon-Ra St. Brown bomb, like, hey, you have to respect him vertically as well. And he should have caught it. He had 2 balls that he probably should have caught today, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter because we were spreading it around to everyone. That's the type of thing that I want to see. That's the type of play calling I want to see. Because we can't go out there against every team in the NFL and just be out there in jumbo and 12 personnel all game and sitting there wondering, why aren't we getting the deep passes? Like, who are we threatening? Who are we threatening deep with outside of Jameson Williams? Like, it's been killing me for a little while. But see, Dan sees what I see. We got the glasses on. We figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? You're just a little bit smarter. When you struggle to see, you make sure you see everything. When you get that ability to see, you put them frames on, you see like, hold up, let me read between the lines. Let me figure it out. That's my man. Dan with the frames, I want him calling every game until the end of time. You know what I'm saying? Until he get a different OC or something like that, I need Dan with the frames every week. Now, we ain't going to get too far. We played a team that was down bad. A bunch of injuries. They out here punching folk. They doing everything incorrectly. It's still the Commanders. We going to see what we do next week. But I like the creativity. I like the point guard situation where we're getting a quarterback to get the ball out quicker, and we're hitting them with the jabs. So to set up the haymakers, not just throwing haymakers all game. So that's what makes the most sense to me. Right? And it made the most sense to Dan. That's what I like about it. This is the first time I've seen Dan call plays since he took the play calling from Anthony Lynn. And just like then, the moment he took them play calling duties, you saw the offense just automatically switch. So I'm with all of that. That was just perfection to see. And the reason why I gave him the MVP was just so many people that could have been the MVP. Jameson Williams had over 100. Jahmyr Gibbs had like 175. Jared Goff only had 8 incompletions and he threw for like 300 some odd yards. That's the type of thing I want to see. Now, can't get too hyped. We played the Commanders. We got the Eagles next week. And let's move on to final thoughts. We're going to go back to the studio, right? Final thoughts, y'all. We are 6-3. We are currently the 6th seed. And with a Packers loss tomorrow against the Eagles, which I'm really praying happens, we can be first in the division again. We are still in charge of our destiny. If we win out, then, of course, we're most likely the first seed unless Seahawks go crazy. But essentially, as long as we can keep pace with the Packers and beat the Packers on Thanksgiving, we'll win our division. I am not necessarily gunning for that first seed. Um, because I was sitting there thinking like, man, we don't play that well after a bye, but that's really one of my biggest fears is the fact that we don't play that well after a bye. And to win a Super Bowl, you have to play well after a bye. They're gonna you're not gonna play the Super Bowl the week after the NFC Championship, bro. You got to be able to prepare and be able to see new things and adjust in game in the Super Bowl. But not getting ahead of myself. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure we're gonna handle our business through the end of the year. But the division is still on the table. The first or second seed is still on the table. Our next 4 games, we are playing Philly, which is going to be a big game. We're going to play the Giants. We're going to play Green Bay, and we're going to play Dallas. So for the next month, those are our 4 opponents. In Philly, we're going to get tested with that pass rush, elite interior pass rush. Jordan Davis is a dog. Of course, Jalen Carter is a dog. They got these new dudes that everybody's hype about. Mr. 2-time ACL, Jalen Phillips. He's supposed to be the greatest. And then, Nolan Smith is coming back. They got so many weapons on offense. So next week is going to be might be a bigger test for our defense than our offense, but it's a big test all the way around. The Giants have a good pass rush. Green Bay has a good pass rush. Dallas just got new pieces on the D line, and we're going to see how our O line is going to handle all of these situations because Graham got hurt. We got Cologne out there. And with Mahogany out, Awasika's out there. And who knows? Awasika, I might make a video called Uncomfortable Conversations. Because Awasika looks a little bit better than Christian Mahogany to me. Pass pro to me is better. We did play the Commanders, so not trying to take it too far. But I just didn't feel like it was going to be a big drop-off from Mahogany to Awasika. That's why I wasn't tripping over not getting any O-linemen. The trade deadline panic was just a little overblown, but we are going to see where we are at next week against Philly. And that's all I got, folks. Whether it is draft day, game day, or any day in between. It's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.